Every American state has a story it proudly tells. The landmarks, the heroes, the victories. But every place also has a moment it would rather forget. Moments when fear took hold, when injustice ruled, when the American promise failed the people who believed in it. Tonight, we're not chasing legends or folklore. We're walking into documented history, the kind that still leaves fingerprints on towns, laws, and collective memory. 50 states, 50 disturbing events. Not to sensationalize, but to remember. Because history doesn't heal by being ignored. I'm Clyde Chester, and this is History of United States. The States. Alabama, the Birmingham church bombing, 1963. 4 little girls, a Sunday morning. A bomb planted by white supremacists at the 16th Street Baptist Church. The civil rights movement was no longer abstract, it was bleeding in public. Alaska, the Nome flu epidemic, 1918. Entire villages wiped out, frozen bodies buried in mass graves, a state nearly erased by disease, saved only by a desperate dog sled relay. Arizona, the Bisbee deportation, 1917. Over 1,300 striking miners rounded up at gunpoint, dumped in the desert without food or water. An American town turning vigilante. Arkansas, the Elaine Massacre, 1919. Black sharecroppers organizing for fair wages. White mobs, federal troops, hundreds killed, most never counted. California, the Japanese-American internment, 1942. Families removed, homes abandoned, barbed wire camps authorized by the U.S. government. Fear replaced freedom. Colorado, the Ludlow Massacre, 1914. Coal miners' families living in tents. The National Guard opened fire. Children suffocated in burning pits. Connecticut, the Witch Panic, 1660s. Overshadowed by Salem, but just as deadly. Fear turned neighbors into executioners. Delaware, the lynching of George White, 1903. A mob burned a man alive. Thousands watched, no one punished. Florida, the Rosewood Massacre, 1923. A black town erased, homes burned, survivors silenced for decades. Georgia, the Leo Frank lynching, 1915. The Jewish factory manager kidnapped from prison, hanged by a mob. Anti-Semitism dressed as justice. Hawaii, the overthrow of the Hawaiian Kingdom, 1893. A queen deposed, a nation stolen. The birth of American imperial power. Idaho, the Bunker Hill mine disaster, 1972. Toxic smoke trapped underground. 91 miners dead. Ignored safety warnings turned fatal. Illinois, the East St. Louis riots, 1917. Black workers targeted. Entire neighborhoods burned. The National Guard stood by. Indiana, the Ku Klux Klan takeover, 1920s. 1/3 of adult men joined. The Klan controlled state politics. Hate wore suits and badges. Iowa, the Villisca Axe murders, 1912. 8 people, 1 axe, no arrests ever. Kansas, Bleeding Kansas, 1850s. Pro-slavery versus anti-slavery settlers. Murders in the streets, a preview of the Civil War. Kentucky, the Breathitt County feuds. Family bloodshed lasting generations. Lawlessness masquerading as honor. Louisiana, the Colfax Massacre, 1873. Over 100 black men murdered defending democracy. White attackers later pardoned. Maine, the Smutty Nose Murders, 1873. Isolated island, women slaughtered, justice clouded by bias. Maryland, the Battle of Baltimore, 1814. Civilian deaths, a city nearly lost, the anthem born from terror. Massachusetts, the Salem witch trials, 1992. Fear became law. Innocence didn't matter. Hysteria killed. Michigan, the Flint water crisis. Poisoned pipes, children exposed to lead, warnings ignored for years. Minnesota, the Dakota War executions, 1862. 38 Native men hanged in one day, largest mass execution in U.S. history. Mississippi, the murder of Emmett Till, 1955. A child beaten and dumped in a river. His open casket changed America. Missouri, the Dred Scott decision. A Supreme Court ruling declaring Black Americans had no rights. Law codified injustice. Montana, the Anaconda Rod Massacre, 1937. Labor organizers gunned down. Corporate power answered with bullets. Nebraska, the lynching of Will Brown, 1919. Courthouse burned. Mayor nearly killed. Mob rule televised before TV. Nevada, the Silver Peak nuclear tests. Fallout drifted. Cancer followed. Communities paid the price. New Hampshire, the Bear Brook murders. Barrels, bodies, decades without names. New Jersey, the Lindbergh baby kidnapping, 1932. A nation obsessed. A trial still debated. New Mexico, the Los Alamos radiation experiments. Citizens exposed without consent. Science outran ethics. New York, the Triangle Shirtwaist Fire, 1911. Locked doors, young women trapped. Labor laws written in ashes. North Carolina, the Wilmington Coup, 1898. An elected government overthrown. White supremacists seized power. North Dakota, the native boarding schools. Children taken, languages erased, trauma institutionalized. Ohio, the Kent State shootings, 1970. Students protesting war. 4 dead in 13 seconds. Oklahoma, the Tulsa Race Massacre, 1921. Black Wall Street destroyed. Airplanes dropped fire. History buried, then unearthed. Oregon, the Rajneeshi bioterror attack. Salad bars poisoned. The largest bioterror attack in U.S. history. Pennsylvania, the Move bombing, 1985. Police dropped a bomb on a neighborhood. Children died. An American city burned itself. Rhode Island, the Station nightclub fire. Pyrotechnics, locked exits. 100 lives lost in minutes. South Carolina, the Charleston church shooting, 2015. Prayer interrupted by hate. A sanctuary violated. South Dakota, Wounded Knee, 1890. A massacre framed as a battle. Native resistance crushed. Tennessee, the Memphis sanitation strike. Dr. King assassinated. A movement shaken. Texas, the Santa Fe High School shooting. A small town forever changed. Utah, the Mountain Meadows Massacre, 1857. Settlers slaughtered. Truth buried for decades. Vermont, the Jenny Brook murders. Isolation, violence. A reminder evil doesn't need crowds. Virginia, the Jamestown starvation time. Cannibalism, colonial desperation. America's brutal beginning. Washington, the Tacoma method. Chinese residents expelled overnight. Racism enforced by law. West Virginia, the Battle of Blair Mountain. Coal miners fought federal troops, the largest labor uprising in U.S. history. Wisconsin, the Milwaukee cannibal case. Trust betrayed, evil hidden in plain sight. Wyoming, the lynching of cattle rustlers. Frontier justice without mercy. These stories are disturbing because they're real. They happened on American soil, under American laws, to American people. Remembering them isn't unpatriotic, it's necessary. Because the United States wasn't built only by triumph, but by confronting its darkest moments and deciding to be better. I'm Clyde Chester, and this has been History of United States.